it's Lindsay, and today we're making a small batch of apple pie that makes exactly 2 slices with my apple pie for 2. I couldn't wait to share this recipe with you guys because it's super easy to make just on a whim. You don't need a ton of ingredients and it's really cool to put together. I came up with this makeshift pan that I made out of foil. So you still get that amazing apple pie filling and buttery pie crust, but in a small batch version, and you don't need any fancy tools or techniques to make it. This recipe is so perfect for date night or a holiday where you don't have a zillion people coming over and you just need 2 slices of pie, or if you want to make a bunch of different recipes of pie and you don't want a ton of leftovers. It's a great portion control recipe so you don't have like the whole rest of the pie the next day tempting you from the kitchen. And if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to tap that subscribe button to be the first to see my all new videos. Okay, so we start with the tinfoil pan that we're going to use to section off the pie dish to create that perfect 2-slice pie shape. And as always, I'll leave the full written instructions and the full recipe down below, or you can get it at lindsayandbakes.com. So just take a piece of foil and fold it into a long strip. Go ahead and fold it in half to create an L shape, and place it right in the pie dish, and you're going to use this to section off about 1/4 of the pie dish. Then go ahead and take another piece of foil and just fold it underneath and up the sides of the bottom of the foil L shape, and just cut off the rounded edge, and this is going to create a bottom to your little makeshift pan. And I like to take a 3rd piece of foil and just line the inside of the foil triangle so the filling doesn't leak out of the edges. Okay, now on to our small batch. Super easy pie crust. We're doing it all in a bowl, so you're just going to take 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 3/4 teaspoons sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and whisk that all together in our bowl. Then we're going to take 1/2 stick, which is 1/4 cup of unsalted butter that's really cold right out of the fridge, and just cut that into cubes. Then go ahead and cut in the cubed butter into our flour mixture using a pastry blender. And just cut that in until you have little pea-sized balls of butter. Last, we're going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of ice cold buttermilk. You can also do this with water, and just add that in about 1/2 tablespoon at a time. And you're just going to mix that in with the spatula until the dough just starts to come together, and it might be a little shaggy. It's not going to be a perfect moist dough ball. It's definitely not going to be wet. You'll know it's ready when you pinch some of the crumbly dough together with your fingers and it holds its shape. Then go ahead and turn the dough out onto a piece of plastic wrap, and just go ahead and use that to form the dough into a disc shape. Then we're just going to wrap it up and pop it in the fridge for about 1 to 2 hours. You can also do this in advance and leave it in the fridge for up to 5 days. Then just take it out when you're ready to make your pie. So once your dough is nice and chilled, just let it come to room temperature for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can roll it out until it's about 1/4 inch thick. And just go ahead and sprinkle your work surface with flour as you go, and rotate the dough about 1/4 turn to eliminate any sticking. Then we're just going to use our foil triangle as a guide to slice the dough into shape, so just slice each side. And then make sure you leave about 2 inches past the edge of the foil so it's long enough to go up the sides of the pie dish. Then just place the foil back into your pie dish and press your little dough triangle right inside and up the sides of the pie dish. Now with the excess dough, you can just cut this into a triangle to place on top, or you can make cutout decorations. Today we're going to do a classic lattice top with some pretty flowers around the border. So just go ahead and take the extra dough and cut it into strips, and then create your lattice pattern by weaving them over, under, over, under. And I like to push these in tight to get as much crust on the top of this pie as possible because it's my favorite part. Then just take your foil triangle as a guide to cut the crust right into our triangle shape. And if you have extra left over, you can cut out some pretty flowers or leaves or whatever kind of shape you like to make the border really fancy. The filling could not be easier. We're just throwing everything into a bowl. So all you're gonna do is take 2 medium to large green Granny Smith apples and core them, peel them, and slice them up into 1/4 inch thick slices. Then just go ahead and add those to your mixing bowl. And in goes 2 tablespoons of white sugar and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, a tablespoon of water to make this filling extra nice and thick and saucy, and last, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then go ahead and mix this all together until the apples are fully coated in this cinnamon brown sugary goodness. Now just pour the filling into our prepared pie crust, and place your lattice triangle right on top of the apples. And at this point, I like to fill the empty space of the pie dish with some tin foil, so just take some foil, crumble it up, and stick it in there so there's no room for that triangle to lose its shape in the oven. Then go ahead and take some egg wash or some buttermilk and brush the tops of the crust so you get that beautiful golden brown color. And then you can go ahead and add some fun cutout pie dough shapes to the edge of the crust for a pretty border. Now we're gonna pop this in a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 35 to 45 minutes or until the crust is golden brown and the filling is nice and hot and bubbling. Oh my gosh, it turned out so perfect, you guys. The crust is golden brown and I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. It smells amazing. I was so nervous putting this in the oven. I've never really done this before, so I didn't know if the apples were just gonna kind of like come right out, but it turned out perfect. Now we just have to let this cool before we slice into it. So let it sit for at least 3 hours at room temperature. Then we just slice it right down the middle and we can serve our 2 slices of apple pie. I mean, look at that. These are just perfect. All right, let's serve this up, and if you guys give this a try, be sure to tag me in a picture on social media at Lindsay and Bakes, or share this video with a friend who you want to make this apple pie with. Now, I like to go ahead and top these with a little dollop of whipped cream or some vanilla ice cream and serve it a la mode. The apples are tender, the crust is golden brown and buttery and flaky. And I've also made this with pumpkin pie, so if you love this recipe, you're gonna love that one too. So be sure to check out my pumpkin pie for 2 after this video. That way you can make an apple pie for 2, a pumpkin pie for 2, and you can have a little bit of everything on the dessert table. So there you have my apple pie for 2 recipe. Thanks so much for watching and leaving me comments. You guys are the best. I love you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for tons more videos that I know you're gonna love, and I'll see you right here next time. Bye guys. You guys, we're doing the coolest recipe on my YouTube channel. We're doing apple pie for 2. So it's a recipe that's scaled down to make exactly 2 slices of apple pie. So it's perfect for like a romantic dessert or just like when you want to have 2 slices of apple pie and not the whole thing. And I came up with like the coolest makeshift pan out of tin foil so you can bake it right in the pie dish, but keep that perfect like slice of pie shape. You have to check out the YouTube video to see how I did it. It's so cool.